Go out with Imagineyourgoddess, here with a friend of the team. He goes by the Mercenary King. He's going to share his Tachikaze build with you.
Hello, I'd like to share a non-rank shade Tachikaze build. It's based on the concept of beaters and eaters. There are those who eat and those who attack. Beat. First off, we have our starting Vanguard, Dragon Egg. It's a simple 4K Pioneer. Pay 1. When it is removed from the rear guard circle, you can return it to your hand from the drop zone. It is a staple in your deck, and it will return to your hand quite often, as it will be eaten by such cards as Tyrant Death Rex and as fodder for getting cannon gear online. Let's look at our triggers. The staple 4 heals. Now 4 crits. I run this crit because it has a chance of returning to your deck as a recycling trigger. I've yet to see it put another trigger into the soul, but I'm sure people have had different experiences with it. This is the normal 5K crit trigger and 6 draw. The reason why you need draw in this deck is because you minus yourself like crazy. You will minus yourself with most of your attacks, and when you start Dark Rexing all over the place, you will lose 3 cards every turn. That is not counting the cards you'll have to guard with, as you have a 10k Vanguard, and most metas are turning into 11 and 13k. Let's remove these. I'm going to keep this to the side right here. 3 Shieldons. Shieldons are important as certain units, such as Blight Tops, are removed. You can search for Shieldon and add it to your hand. I run 4 Blight Tops and 3 Shieldons for the simple reason it is better to have more searchers than it is to have the actual object of their search. Also, Blight Tops can be used as an interceptor and an attacker, whereas this is just best as a 6k booster.
And a 10k shield.
And a 10k shield, of course. That's the use for it. Arcbird, your staple for perfect shields. This is a pretty important Tachikaze, as towards the end of the game, you will be relying on these to avoid having the last damage done to you. The 2 aces of the deck, Tyrant Death Rex and Dark Rex, both work best in a limit broke environment. So if even one crit hits, you're dead. Move these to the side. These are part of our beaters. 8k booster for Sonic Noah is very important to your general strategy. Against a cross ride, it makes Tyrant Death Rex hit 23k. It boosts most cards up to 17 to 19k, depending on whether you're running Blight Tops or cannon gear. It can be its own, with 2 of these, it can be its own 16k column, which is very good in a 11k meta. Also, we have 4 Skypteros. These are the staple in any non-set 8 deck. Whereas many Raptor decks run such cards as when they are eaten, they boost the Vanguard. These actually benefit by returning to your hand. I cannot tell you how many times I've been saved by the mere fact that I have another 5k shield to use. I'm going to move these here. I'm going to keep one to the side. Blight Tops. When it is removed from the rear guard circle, pay 1, search for a 10k shield known as Shieldon. Great stuff. When you use it with Cannon Gear or Dark Rex or Tyrant Death Rex, you suddenly have a 10k shield. Several times I've had Dark Rex coming in, and I have had 2 Blight Tops in a single row. I kill them both to be eaten for 2 Shieldons. Very nice trade-off. Move these to the side. Cannon Gear, I run 3 of these. You can't run too many, as Dark Rex and Tyrant Death Rex minus you pretty harshly already, but it is an excellent Vanguard ride, as you should already have 1 damage at least, and Dragon Egg out. You ride this, take out Dragon Egg, pay 1, return it to your hand, Put out Dragon Egg as a booster, and suddenly you have a 17k column. Until next turn, of course, when something else rides over it. It makes an excellent rearguard and excellent fodder for your abilities and as an interceptor. Mega Rex, 10k beater. That's it. Finally, we get to our grade 3s. 4 Tyrant Death Rexes. This guy is the best card the Tachikaze have got out in the English meta right now. 5k, and if it hits, it gets to eat something. But if it doesn't hit, you still had a 15k attacker that is basically free. This works best with such things as Skype Dragon Egg, and Blight Tops, in that it allows for you to activate their abilities, return it to hand, or search for your 10k shields and Shieldons. Overall, I will be discussing a combo that you can use with Dark Rex if you have the ability to get it into your hand with all the draw and all the drive checks you will be doing with Dark Rex. It should be used ride over Dark Rex or as a base for Dark Rex to ride upon. Otherwise, you are not utilizing full attacks with Tachikaze. For Dark Rex. Dark Rex is simple. Bind it, something gets 3k. I usually put it on Blight Tops or a Mega Rex to make sure I can hit those 13k or 11k Vanguards. But once it is bound, if you attack and the attack does not hit, you may ride over it with Dark Rex. The price? Simple. 3 Tachikaze rear guards. So in other words, when you have a formation like this out, you use their abilities. Tachikaze's abilities for this deck are all 1 counterblast. And likely you will be getting a heal or 2, so you might be lucky enough to use such abilities up to 6 times. I've often used Blight Top's ability most frequently, as well as Dragon Egg, to ensure that I always have plenty of 10Ks to defend with. So let's talk about a couple combos. Besides the combos to get more guard into your hand, you can also go like this. Attack, it doesn't hit, ride over, and then next turn you ride it over again. This keeps your attacks multiple shield stages. With a Skype Tarot behind, you have a 21k attack. So in other words, 21k, 10k, 21k again. Your opponent will be very hard pressed at all times to guard it consistently. I have gone through games where I've had 5 different grade 3s in the soul charged up much like this. Unfortunately, I lost that game. I minused myself far too much. The weakness of this deck is minusing. You will minus yourself constantly. A smart opponent can screw with your damage and force you to permanently remove such cards as Skype Tarot or, most importantly, Dragon Egg, preventing you to have another 10k shield available for your use in emergency situations. For example, I was playing against an opponent and he refused to damage me for a turn, and I was forced to ride into Cannon Gear. I had to eat something, and I hadn't been able to put out anything. So I had to eat Dragon Egg. Dragon Egg died permanently for the rest of the game. No way to get it back. Overall, though, with 6 draw, and your crits, as well as cards such as Blight Tops and the returning cards to your hand, you should not run into too many problems early to mid and early late games. But if an opponent like Narukami or Kagero come out and they prevent you from the full utilization of your deck, you will be screwed once their decks come into their full power. So sometime we should do a full look at the Tachikaze clan. But until then, please like, subscribe, watch our other videos, and maybe you'll see me again in the future. Mercenary King, till next time.
Take care, guys.